The character is a garden of the circumstances grown. Every habit formed in living is a self that is known. The nourishment received in the actual daily through. The circumstances of the living are the maker of the you that shows up in the morning, that moves through the actual day. The character is the garden tended by the way the life was actually lived, in the real and in the through. The circumstances formed you, and the forming is still true. Formed by the living, that is the whole ground. Formed by the living, that is where the self is found. The circumstances tending, the habits and the through. Formed by the living made you. The nourishment, the shape in the actual daily real. Formed by the living, that is the whole deal. Character the garden, living is the rain. Formed by the living, formed by the living. Again and again, all that is within you receives the circumstance and makes the character from it. Every habit, every stance of the self in the living of the actual world is the within taking in, and the character unfurled from the actual nourishment of the actual through. The forming is the living, and the living forms you. Every circumstance a teacher, every habit a report of the living in its forming of the character it wrought. Formed by the living, that is the whole ground. Formed by the living, that is where the self is found. The circumstances tending, the habits and the through. Formed by the living made you. The nourishment, the shape in the actual daily real. By the living, that is the whole deal. Character the garden, living is the rain. Formed by the living, formed by the living. Again and again, the circumstances are the soil, the character is the bloom. Every habit is the tending of the interior room of the self in its forming, of the within in its real. The living is a forming, the forming is the deal. All that is within you takes the soil and grows the character upward through everything it knows of the nourishment received, of the actual living through. Formed by the living is forming you still right here today. Formed by the living, that is the whole ground. Formed by the living, that is where the self is found. The circumstances tending, the habits and the through. Formed by the living made you. The nourishment, the shape in the actual daily real. By the living, that is the whole deal. Character the